In the summer of 1914, as Europe teetered on the brink of war, Manfred von Richthofen was a cavalry officer in the German army. He looked forward to his service with a sense of duty and patriotism.
The onset of war shifted Richthofen's focus from cavalry to aviation. He was captivated by the new technology that would soon revolutionize warfare in the skies above the Western Front. Richthofen took to the skies with distinction, forming Jaster 11 Jagdgeschwader I in 1917, which he renamed the Flying Circus, due to their colorful aircraft and rapid mobility across different sectors of the front line. In 1917, Richthofen's squadron became known as the Flying Circus, due to their bright uniforms and the swiftness of their aerial maneuvers. The skies above the Western Front were a theater of war where pilots like Richthofen fought daily for control, their aircraft often the only color amidst the gray and mud below.
Richthofen's strategic acumen was as valuable as his skill in aerial combat, leading to the formation of Jagdgeschwader I and setting new standards for fighter squadron operations.
In 1917, Manfred von Richthofen formed Jaster 11, later known as the Flying Circus, from which he would go on to achieve his greatest victories in the skies of World War I. Richthofen painted his aircraft entirely red to make it easily recognizable to both friend and foe, turning himself into a legend as the Red Baron.
With each victory, Richthofen's reputation grew, earning him the Paula Mayrite, Germany's highest military honor, known colloquially as the Blue Max.
In 1917, Manfred von Richthofen began painting his aircraft a striking shade of red to make it easily recognizable from the sky. This distinctive color would cement his legend as the Red Baron. Richthofen's skill and daring in combat made him a formidable adversary. Pilots on both sides would recognize the ominous sight of the lone red triplane closing in on them.
As night falls on April 21, 1918, Manfred von Richthofen takes to the skies for what would be his final mission. His legacy as an ace pilot and commander was unmatched.
Richthofen's first solo command of Jaster 11 in January 1917 marked the beginning of his legend. He painted his plane red to stand out among allies and enemies alike, becoming a symbol of German aerial might. By mid-1917, Richthofen had become an ace among aces. His Jaster 11 was known for its aggressive tactics and innovative use of radio communication to coordinate attacks.
Despite his growing fame and the fear he instilled in enemy pilots, Richthofen remained deeply committed to military discipline and tactical planning, constantly refining strategies to maintain air superiority.
September 1916 saw Manfred von Richthofen's first aerial victory against a British plane, marking his rise as a formidable fighter pilot in the skies of the Western Front.
In 1917, Richthofen formed and commanded Jagdgeschwader I, known colloquially as the Flying Circus, renowned for its striking red airplanes and formidable pilots.
By the end of 1917, Richthofen had achieved over 60 victories and was an unstoppable force in the skies, his red plane a symbol of German air superiority. Richthofen stood resolute as dusk fell over the battlefield, his aircraft ready for one more patrol before nightfall. As he took to the skies, Richthofen's eyes scanned the horizon, ready for combat as the Allied planes closed in. In a dogfight that would earn him another victory, Richthofen's maneuvers were impeccable as he outmaneuvered his opponents in the skies.
The early morning light of April 1918 was cold as von Richthofen took off for another patrol. It would be his last flight. As he ascended into battle once more, von Richthofen felt a mix of determination and foreboding.
The Red Baron soared above, a symbol of German aerial might and a challenge to all who dared face him in the skies. Richthofen stood before his iconic red plane, a symbol of German might in the skies above the Western Front. As night fell and the moon rose, Richthofen prepared for one last flight before darkness settled over the battlefield below.
With 80 aerial victories under his belt, Richthofen faced the final days of April 1918, knowing that every mission could be his last.
The Red Baron's victories have made him a legend on both sides of the conflict, inspiring awe and fear in equal measure. In 1917, Richthofen commands the Flying Circus, a squadron known for its mobility and striking power against British forces. Richthofen's skill in aerial combat reaches its peak during this period, as he continues to rack up victories over Allied pilots. By 1917, Richthofen had become the leader of Dogfight, known to pilots and ground troops alike as the Flying Circus, due to their rapid movements across the front line. His aircraft's red paint scheme made him a legend in his own time.
Richthofen was not only feared by Allied pilots, but also revered and respected among his own men for his leadership and bravery. His speeches inspired confidence in his troops. The year 1918 brought Richthofen to the peak of his career, scoring numerous victories as he continued to dominate the skies over the Western Front. However, it also marked the beginning of his end.
Richthofen's reputation as the Red Baron grew with each victory, drawing pilots from across Germany to join his squadron, Jasta 17, later known as Dogfight or the Flying Circus. By April 1918, Richthofen had achieved unprecedented success, claiming over 80 aerial victories. He was now at the peak of his power and fame.
On April 21st, during a pursuit of a Sopwith Camel piloted by novice Canadian pilot Wilfred May, Richthofen was mortally wounded. The exact circumstances remain unclear, but it marked the beginning of his tragic end.
Richthofen had just achieved another victory in the sky, cementing his reputation as an ace among aces. Yet beneath the fame lay a man deeply aware of the cost of war.
In this diary, Richthofen recorded not just victories, but also the sorrow and isolation that came with being an ace pilot in a war without end.
On April 21, 1918, the Red Baron took to the skies once more, unaware it would be his final flight over Vaux-sur-Somme. The legend was about to face its greatest challenge. As the war raged on, Richthofen's reputation grew with each victory he secured. The Red Baron became a symbol of German aerial supremacy.
On April 21, 1918, Richthofen took to the skies for what would be his final mission. As he climbed into his red Albatros Diva, the weight of history rested upon his shoulders.
In the final moments before his death, Richthofen fought bravely against British planes. His legacy as an ace pilot was cemented in those final minutes of combat. The Red Baron's reputation precedes him. No other fighter pilot commands such fear and respect in the skies over the Western Front. Despite the horrors beneath him, Richthofen remains focused on the skies above, where his legend continues to grow with each aerial victory. As the war reaches its climax, Richthofen becomes a symbol of German aviation prowess, inspiring both fear and admiration from all who watch his aerial ballet in combat. April 21, 1918, the day of his final flight. Richthofen was at the peak of his fame and power, ready for another aerial battle in his Crimson Machine. As he ascends into battle, Richthofen encounters British pilots from number 209 Squadron. His aircraft is a beacon of Germany's might in the skies.
Moments later, a bullet pierces through the cockpit, and history records the fall of an ace from the skies he once ruled with authority and grace.
Richthofen surveys the war-torn landscape, ready to take command of his squadron once more. In March 1917, Richthofen forms Dogfight, a unit that will soon become known as the Flying Circus.
In April 1918, Richthofen achieves his last victory but meets his end when he crashes near Vaux-sur-Somme. His legend lives on in the annals of aviation history. April 21, 1918, saw the end of the Red Baron's aerial reign as he met his fate in the skies above Vaux-sur-Somme. Despite being an enemy combatant, Richthofen was given a funeral befitting his status as a war hero and buried with full military honors by British forces. Today, his legacy endures as a symbol of aerial combat and heroism in one of history's darkest periods. Manfred von Richthofen was laid to rest in a ceremony attended by British officers who admired his bravery and skill as an adversary. This simple grave marks the end of one of history's most celebrated aviators.
The skies above the Western Front saw fierce aerial battles that would set the stage for modern air combat. Von Richthofen's legacy lives on as a symbol of courage and skill amidst chaos.
From the Red Flying Circus to today's cutting-edge military aircraft, Richthofen's influence on aviation continues to inspire generations of aviators around the world. His legend endures as an emblem of heroism and honor in the face of adversity. Richthofen's legacy as the Red Baron endures through the memories of those who witnessed his exploits in the skies above the Western Front. The day after his death, Manfred von Richthofen was given full military honors by the British Army and laid to rest near Vaux-sur-Somme. Today, Manfred von Richthofen's legacy as the legendary German flying ace continues to inspire generations through his bravery and skill in the skies of World War I.